for the Bombers. His first bag of 5 at AFL level, Michael Hurley.
There he is, McFarlane in game 200, has got a huge task ahead of him. Lovett Murray, the sub that's been activated for the Fremantle Dockers.
Been interesting tonight, high-scoring game, 27 goals kicked. Would not have predicted that coming in to a game over here in the West. We haven't seen a loose man back at any stage for either side. It's been great to watch head-to-head, all-out attack.
Non-freeze. Cramery not going to get out of there, I wouldn't have thought. Ball spills loose in the end. Olio can't fight it out. We'll have a ball up. Michael Barlow, who has been prolific again here in this game.
He's got Dempsey manning him up at these first 2 stoppages.
Great tap by Dempsey to Watson, but Crowley was wearing him like a glove. Just Reamers, De Boer, Heppel. Heppel wanted to go wide, couldn't quite get there. Stanton to Hardingham, loves the right boot as a whopping kick of the footy. Goes long and deep, Hill coming from about 4 deep. Couldn't get there, off hands Hurley. Little left foot kick around the corner.
He's got the look about him, Michael Hurley, tonight, hasn't he? With the intensity and the energy hitting through the footy. We get excited about him because of the way that he has this real presence in a game. And tonight, as we've pointed out, his first ever bag of 5. You've got Hurley at one end, you've got Pav at the other, who looks equally as dangerous. It's like one of those games that has a chance to go right down to the wire as Ryder takes a very nice intercept mark.
He'll kick this.
And he does. Fletcher winds up with a big long ball just offline to the left-hand side.
Gee, he got the ball there, Dustin, and he looked ahead and there was no one in front of him and his eyes lit up.
Johnson. Wide looking for Barlow.
That's what Bombers will be really looking for. They started the game really well with a lot of possession inside their own forward 50 and their own forward half of the ground. So they're really on high alert here just to make sure that they can keep this footy in and put enough pressure on to finally score.
Funny little duck around in the ruck there by Ryder. No ball by Barlow, not going anywhere. There'll be no mark out of that either, I wouldn't have thought. Barlow gets a second attempt this time as it kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Although the Dockers had a great third term, Barlow died out of the game a little bit. Need him back to his ball-winning best to win this game in the last quarter.
Lovett Murray looks lively and likely at the moment, doesn't he? Dempsey, beautiful ball to Jetta. Centre half forward for the Bombers.
See Griffin loose there, just kicked it straight to him.
Long to the pocket, getting back was Paddy Ryder, looking for Hurley.
And that's his direct opponent, and that's the right play from Ryder. He had to get there. Like to have seen him there a fraction earlier, would have given them more to kick to, but finally got back and gave a contest.
Hands by Lower. Dangerous. I tell you what, Reamers will get onto this and going to come back with a little bit of interest here for the Bombers. He initially thought he had Jetta, now he goes long and once again looking for Hill. Almost through traffic, took him on Ibbotson, let go of the ball, and that has hit the behind post.
Got him. Good tackle from Cramery. A little bit lucky there, Ibbotson. Yeah, incorrect disposal.
Look, took him on. That's incorrect disposal.
Has to be.
Unlucky.
That rule exists anymore.
No, it doesn't. It's gone, that rule.
The only thing that could say there is the ball may have been knocked out in the process of the tackle.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. Look at this time in forward half. 100% so far to start the final quarter here for the Bombers.
And we've played 4 minutes, so it's a fair specimen. Here's Watson. Put it out in front, gave Hill a chance. Sticks the Dukes out in front and took the mark.
That is an absolutely outstanding kick from Jobe Watson. Summed it up perfectly. He forced David Hill to get to the spot, then he drew the forward into the football. Just a great kick.
Sucked him into the spot, didn't he?
He did. 15 metres out, the perfect spot to put the ball.
Hill, can you believe it, to give the Bombers the lead again. Directly in front, hammers it, Essendon lead.
8th lead change of the game, as that kick that Richo pointed out was just magnificent. Can you believe Joe Watson, the first half of his career, was derided for being a poor user of the footy, and he's just worked and worked and found a way to make it a strength now. He's an elite kick.
Yeah, I reckon he would have spent so many hours on his kicking. It was a bit of a knock, but outstanding kick now.
Still part of the game, BT, a lot of people are confused with when you're involved in a great passage of play. You find yourself there. Joe Watson, the weapon you can see there. Look at the steely-eyed of the strength and conditioning guru down there.
He would orchestrate those changes. A lot of the interchanges are done by the fitness staff now on timings.
Why wouldn't you? He found a needle in a haystack. He's that sort of bloke. His main attempted pick up there by Howlett, and the Bombers have had all of the play in this quarter so far. We've played 6 minutes in their forward half of the ground. Remarkable. And now Fremantle through Clancy. We'll get a look.
Freo threw a number behind the ball at that bounce. I reckon they just wanted to try and get the ball into their hands and hold on to it for a minute or so. That's a risky kick.
Low ball by Clancy Pearce was nice. McPhee, have a look at that ahead of McPhee, and he decides to go backwards as a result of what confronted him.
That was all right going backwards, because the next kick allowed Ibbotson, to play on and kick the ball forward.
Pavlich almost got both hands on it. Love it, Murray, just gliding through traffic. Lovely long handball. The overlap here of Hocking had to wait. Awareness to get it on to Paddy. Gee, I reckon Paddy should have gone for home. Then he went Stanton. Had more time than he thought. And it's been paid. Stanton has milked it, and it's been paid. No argument from Mzungu, by the way.
Yeah, the free kick was there. It was a bit clumsy right in the boundary line. He had him just about over the line.
Now have a look where Mzungu's standing to try and stop the spin-around kick there. The banana ball, and McPhee comes in and splits it open.
I think the Geelong and Hawthorn players have that kick better worked out. When you run and play on, the degree of difficulty at pace gets a lot more harder to execute. They just take their time, take 3 or 4 balanced paces, and they tend to kick it better.
I think what they're not doing is they're not turning side on to the goals and heading to the middle of the ground and kicking around. They're playing on and then kicking around the body, which a little more momentum, a little more difficult to do, perhaps. Stanton goes inside, horrible kick.
Steve Johnson is probably the best at it. He often only takes one step out, doesn't he? Just sets himself up and has the one step.
And you notice when Stevie does it, he doesn't panic at all. The Essendon players have been rushing in a little bit at the moment. But no need to panic. Just go back a couple of steps to the side and kick it.
He knows he's got 1 or 2 steps, doesn't he? He knows he's got the 5 metres. The umpires set that. And the ball over the top to McPhee. And they've had trouble getting it forward at the centre in this quarter, Fremantle.
Well, Dustin Fletcher's loose. He hasn't got an opponent, and that's not what you want. You'd have to have him manned up.
Silvani. In just his 2nd game of the year for Fremantle here. He's been available, he just hasn't been picked. Over the line is...
I think it's going to be pretty tough to score, BT, in this last 20 minutes. There's a number behind the ball now for the Dockers. McPhee.
McPhee's the loose, isn't he? Richo and Fletcher at the other end. I think that's a big win for the Bombers. Dustin Fletcher, almost the least.
Great handball by Watson. Out of the traffic. Hardingham has given a real opportunity for Dempsey. He gathers on the wing. The bounce, the kick to Hill is precise.
Worked his way nicely into this game, David Hill. Starting to get better and better.
Here comes Hurley in the pocket. He ignores that. And Hurley was always 2-on-1, so good decision. Hardingham retreats to Fletcher.
Well, you can see they've got loose players the other side of the ground. And they're going to work it all the way around. Heppel's down the line.
Gives it back to Hibbert. Hibbert's got time to think, and look at this. They've found one wide here. It's Dyson Heppel. Heppel on the left. And the kick in the end didn't go at it to Olio. Now McPhee.
Well, the Bombers had loose players outside their 50, but the Dockers had loose players inside of it.
Crozier to Mundy. Mundy to open space. Now Lower's got to beat 4 Bombers who are converging on the ball here. Surely it'll be a Bombers win. It is to Hibbert. Needs to be good with the kick, and he is not. Mark taken by Pitt, the sub. Here's Lockie Neal. Little one over the top to Pavlich, who marks. Now, this is the spot. I call it the vortex flank.
Why's that?
Well, the players practice from here, in particular the Eagles, because it's their home end, Richo.
It's close to their change rooms.
But they do a lot of practicing. I'm not sure Fremantle would do too much from there.
So what are you saying? You think that he's a good chance to kick this?
There seems to always be a little bit of a tailwind in this kick. I think the distance won't be a problem at all. Oh, he's really kicked it high and horrible. He's given it the 9-iron shank style.
He gave you nothing then, Pav.
Gee, Pav, that was horrible. Embarrassingly horrible.
It's embarrassing
for both of us. That's it.
The vortex.
Oh, gee.
Vortex in
The
your
vortex.
head,
Oh,
Gee
BT,
whiz.
that's your best yet.
No, you'll learn about that, which I know you're new to Patersons. He ran around here like a shook the head. It's cut off, but anyway, here's Myers. I always get rather defensive when I don't have a win, as you've noticed. McFarlane short to Silvani. Wide to McPhee. Oh! Hold.
Look at the stress on James Hurd's face. Really massive, massive game this is.
Well, they've
both sides.
lost the last two. Darson, not long before they confront Geelong, Hawthorn, Adelaide. The big teams in the comp as well, so they need this win. They play the Dogs next week. Kick to Hurley. Centre half forward. Crameri, I think, wanted it long. Doubled back on his man McPhee. Double teamed. Good effort. Was he confronted from in front and interfered with there? Crameri reckons he was. And a high tackle against Reimers.
That was a great contest from Crameri. He looked at the umpire. He probably thought he was warranted in maybe getting a free kick then.
Yeah, Ibbotson on to Lower. Long handball to Johnson. Plenty of time to Johnson to sum this up. He tried to thread the needle. That was always an impossible kick to make.
So the front on contact is what we're looking at there.
He sort of disguised it well, McFarlane, but he didn't look at the ball at the same time.
Marginal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back to Hibbert. Hibbert's found Hooker. Trying to spread them here, the Bombers. Gee, Hooker's advised not to take on Main in the athletic stakes, I wouldn't have thought. Myers magnificently around the corner. Look at that. It was coming at real speed. De Boer. Involved now is Lower. Should have gone up the middle then. He elected to go wide to Clark. Clark to Crowley. Watson and Crowley tangle. He's got his mate Fletcher inside. Clever little tap. Fletcher needs to be precise. Magnificent kick, Dustin. Myers put the hands out, couldn't hold the mark. Lower to Clark. Great smother, Howlett. Here is Lockie Neal. Around the corner. Waste no time. Pavlich. Only man that flew in the end. Off hands, Hardingham.
He probably should have gone to Main outside of 50 then. Just blazed away to Pavlich in a contested situation.
Hibberd not scared of the corridor. Melksham, who's been quietish tonight, looks wide to Paddy. Paddy's marked it. 52 metres out. What does he do?
Well, he had Crameri on straight away. He didn't go to him. He probably has to wait now.
Kicks it long and high to the square. Gee, I tell you what, I reckon he nearly had it covered.
Yeah, he probably just needed to hold that up or put it to the top of the square. Then Crameri was on really early when he first took the mark, and just then he had no other numbers. Could have maybe waited a little bit longer, but they've got them locked in now. Chance to get a repeat inside 50.
Subban looking for Clark in amongst the Bomber players, and he didn't let them down. They were small around him. Well recognised. Zach Clark in the absence of Sandilands. Kicks it down the wing. Fletcher in front. Probably could have marked. Watson says to Olio, get out of the way. Ryder starting to come into the game a little more. A little chippy thing over the top. Found Lovett Murray, gave it to Heppel. Sandwiched in the Fremantle. Double there. And now Melksham has to retrieve. Backwards, conceding ground to Hill. Not a nice example of the kick. Hardingham went at it and won it. Watson did well on the fake kick.
Joe Watson's influence in the last 5 minutes has been enormous.
Dempsey couldn't quite find Hurley. Here's Jeddah. Gathers. Handball back to Lovett Murray. Back to Jeddah. Jeddah looking for someone. Onto Lovett Murray. Got to take on Johnson. Got the kick. Bending back. Not enough.
Great call, Das, about Jobe Watson. Just the class and composure from Jobe Watson to continually find targets. Other players are panicking and just banging the ball in the boot. Jobe's able to hit those targets.
Subban really didn't get that kick. Look at Heppel lining up in the middle. And Hill says, no, I can kick it. And now goes short. Stanton has marked on the lead for the Bombers within range.
Well, there's the frustration. Ross Lyon throws his hands up above his head. They're the little things that really do a coach's head, and particularly one like Ross Lyon. He's so big on making sure you get back defensively and block those spaces. They were able to thread the needle there, and you can see for Ross, that's one he thinks they should have been out of control better.
To give the Bombers a 2-goal lead, Stanton lets it rip. Good-looking ball, but offline in its final moments of flight.
Well, we've spoken about inaccuracy for the Bombers. The last couple of weeks, they have kicked really poorly. 11-16 to go down to the Sydney Swans 2 weeks ago, and 6-16 the week before that. And now at a big stage, they're missing ones that they probably should kick.
Well, 1-6 to no score this quarter.
Have not won here on the last 6 attempts, Essendon. They're in front by 7 points.
Well, it's 1-on-1 in front of them now. They've made Fletcher man up on the mark here. Got to get it moving.
Crozier in game 3. On the left to centre half forward. That is a shocker. Dempsey sliding. Mark at centre half back. Inside to Lovett Murray. He can run and go if he wants. He's very careful about the play on. Now, eventually, Pitt makes him go back.
The activated sub, of course, Lovett Murray. Monfries came off just before three-quarter time. He's been good, Lovett Murray.
Dempsey in full flight, can keep going, can get real penetration here. Here's Hurley. Got both hands on it, couldn't hold the mark. Back off to Jeddah. Jeddah right foot snap around the body. Didn't get it all. Kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Well, Essendon aren't capitalising on all the play. They've got this quarter 79% of the game of this quarter in their forward half of the ground, but not finishing off with goals. Very dangerous if Freo are able to go coast to coast and kick one on them.
Yeah, the result is just 1 goal from that at the moment. Is it 1 goal 5 or
1 goal 6?
1 goal 6 it is. They've scored, and now Reamers. Little centering ball to Melksham.
17 inside 50s to 3 this quarter.
1 goal 6 quarter. They've owned the footy in this quarter, the Bombers. Jobe Watson says to Melksham, I'm not sure what, but words of advice.
Essendon kicked that goal early and got in front, and then Freo put a number behind the ball, and it's been in Essendon's forward half ever since.
Melksham close to the man on the mark. Goal umpire did not even move.
Jackie Melksham got a new haircut working. Nice little bowl undercut scenario, and he's been able to kick a big goal. Olio comes back on, and that's reward for the effort that they've had. Really like the Essendon skipper, Jobe Watson. Get inside his ear. You can kick this. Go through your routine. Take your time, Jake. The distance isn't a worry. I'll back you in. Great leadership. Great result for the Bombers.
Yeah, you wonder what he said. Just whatever. The appropriate time, wasn't it, as you say, Das, to have a word to a young player in a big moment. And now, Essendon by 13, Richo.
There's a couple of players down there. That was a big hit.
Both of them Fremantle players.
Yeah, Broughton's down, hasn't moved.
In Maine, I think it is.
I guess the only saving grace there is it's at the forward end for Fremantle, so won't hurt them just for the moment. Here's Hocking. Jeddah can go all the way here, can get it and go. Boy, dropped it. Now plays on near the boundary line, looking for and finding to Olio. There's the carnage behind the play. Both of those players. Mayne looks cooked, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon Broughton's really bad as well.
He looks groggy, doesn't he, Broughton? Both of them are gone. So, waiting to come on a lower, and also Pitt. In the meantime, Olio well within range here. They do not look like they're going to take any further part to me. Olio for his third goal. Once again, very close to the man on the mark.
Well, they've got to kick 3 goals to win, Freo.
There it is, the collision. Richo and
Mayne.
Friendly fire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Lingy? You've had a close look at them as they come towards you.
Yeah, I'd imagine Mayne, just from looking at that footage there and looking at him now, is just a knock, but obviously quite a bad knock. I think Broughton's a worry. He looks a bit out of it coming to the bench now. He's not all there, I must admit.
Does Fletcher go the barrel? Does he let go of the barrel here?
I'd love to see it. If this was at Etihad Stadium,
oh boy,
there'd be jackets waved.
Listen to the crowd. They're winding him up. Not going to get a barrel. Very disappointing, Dusty. Game's too close. We understand. Heppel. Wide to Carlisle, who's pressed down. Little ball over the top. Looking for Myers. Dempsey went and extracted it nicely. Good evasive skills. Kick around the body. Deflected.
Early in this quarter, when the Bombers kicked that first goal and then the Dockers were under pressure, they rolled that loose man back, and they've really lost all their momentum ever since then.
So that answers the question for Mayne. Ankle.
Yeah, interesting to see them strapping over the sock. They haven't got time to cut the other strapping off, so they've just said, let's wrap it up as tight as we can. That's a good result if it's just a little sprained ankle.
Stanton around the corner. Cramery gathers possession. Ibbotson got it all to do. Kept control of the ball whilst under enormous pressure. Mundy went to ground, just got rid of it in the nick of time, and Barlow really should have taken it over the boundary line there. Comes back inside, and Hurley marks an error by the Dockers there. Mayne back on his feet. And Hurley will line up for his 6th goal. Kicked the last 4, the Bombers. Hurley, big run up. Man on the marks at about 45. Big kick to put them 19 points up. That looks damn good. The Bombers by 19 points.
Well, what a great kick by Michael Hurley, and probably deserves to finish it off. He started the game on fire, and now he gets the goal which ices the game for the Bombers. He was terrific at the start of the match. He's died in and out of it in patches, but any time he kicks 6 goals,
don't think it's iced at all yet, Richo, by any means.
21 points.
So Michael Hurley with his 6th goal. Richo, you're saying the game's iced with 2 minutes to go. Done now. 19 points.
Well, I'll have a bet with you if you want.
Oh, no, I'm just asking you. You're the expert.
Yeah, I think it is.
All
you can score quickly, but when you haven't scored for the quarter.
All right, then. Here we go with the Bombers. Under 2 minutes remaining. You're probably right, Richo. They have been terrific here in this last quarter, kicking all of the goals. 3 of them. Hurley with his 6th. Reamers cut off from Ryder. Pearce. And I think that'll be an Essendon free there.
They've caught a little throw.
Now, it might be a Reamers. No, a Watson free.
The umpire just saying you handed it to him. You've actually got to make contact with the fist, a handball, so effectively it's a throw. And Joe Watson, this is disposal number 25, coming up for being tagged by just about the best tagger in the game, Ryan Crowley. And the champ has found a way to be super effective. Had an unbelievable year, this man.
Jobe Watson, stuttery run up. Doesn't affect the result. Bombers extend it to 25.
great reaction there. Every Bomber, Dusty Fletcher, they've run from full back to get around their skipper. They love him. And this means a lot to Essendon. He's a superstar, this bloke.
How good's that? He nails the goal, that kick to Hill early in the quarter. Just gets better and better, Joe Watson. Birdie's pretty happy.
There's the free kick. A little handoff throw to De Boer, and that's why Joe Watson was then able to go back and convert the fourth last quarter goal, and the Bombers now by 25.
I love the celebration from the skipper, and I love the fact every teammate ran the full length of Patersons Stadium to get around him.
Haven't won here in the last 6 attempts. The Bombers. Mzungu goes to the lead of Clark. He's got space on Fletcher. Fletcher's closing speed was good. Ball spills to the boundary line and it will be forced over.
Have a look at Fletcher. How's he still doing that? He's nearly 60 years of age. And he still finds a way in the last minute of the game.
Fremantle with just the 6 wins, Das, confront the league leaders, Collingwood, next week at the G.
Tough ass, that one.
And for the Bombers, the Western Bulldogs at Etihad.
They'll have a pretty tough draw, Freo. 6 and 6 they will be. They played most of the teams inside the top 8, so the draw does get better in the second half of the season.
First win this will be in June since 2009 for the Bombers.
15 metres from here to here.
It's funny, as soon as Essendon got in front, they put a number behind the ball, and since then they haven't been in the game. When that was one-on-one, the first 3 quarters, they were matching the Bombers with scoring.
Griffin to the right, and the Bombers still have kicked the last 6 consecutive goals of this game. Those last 2 goals in the third quarter, boys, when the 29 and 30 minute mark, there was a minute to go. They were 17 points down, as we see Dusty here. Just a bit of scare tactics with the mouth guard.
Going to throw the mouth guard at your head.
But they were 17 points down with a minute to go in the third quarter, Essendon. Ryder and Hurley kicked goals.
Yeah,
and
it was massive.
It's a good sign, isn't it, for their ability to finish. Last time they played 2 weeks ago, the bye last week, they kicked 9 last quarter goals, nearly the biggest ever come from behind win against the Sydney Swans, and 6 goals away here at Subiaco. It's a great sign for their fitness, and you've got to look to the weapon. He's the man who has got this group up and running.
And there's no doubt they would have known. At three-quarter time, they would have felt super confident. The 2 last goals, knowing they can finish games full of running. You sense that as a team when you know you've got a bit of history of doing it.
Hill in front, and he'll be better for the trot as well. David Hill, so you just wonder what they do now with Bell Chambers and Ryder and Hill as a package of 3, but don't worry about that now, because the Bombers have won here at Patersons Stadium, and they've won by 24 points.